guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be covering Insecure Season 3, Episode 7, Obsessed Like. So let's jump into it. Like I continuously explain in each of my Insecure videos, I'm going to basically break it down into 3 different points in this episode. So I'm going to break it down: Molly, Issa, and Lawrence, which we're kind of, I feel like we're back to the original cast. And I'm like, Lawrence is growing on. He's making me like him again. He's making me feel like he's a likable person. He's growing on to me. So let's start off with Issa, because this episode called Obsessed Like, it fit perfectly with the theme. Lisa, why would I say Lisa? Issa is obsessed with Nathan. We saw from last episode that Nathan hadn't called her since they had spent that time together in bed, and they went to the government offices, and she's tried to text him a couple times, but she doesn't want to get obsessive, but she does. She like wakes up every morning. She's losing sleep because she can't sleep because he hasn't texted her. She's getting really obsessed. Every time her phone goes off, she's like wondering if that's gonna be Nathan. Anything that happens, she's like, oh, it's Nathan, and she's thinking the worst things, like, does he have family? Does he do this? Like, why is he avoiding me and stuff? And at this point, I'm just kind of like, Issa, let it go. Like, I can understand if Nathan was like a Lawrence to her, like, we've been together for like 5 years, and then you just pick up and leave. But Nathan's not like that. She's been with Nathan probably like a week or two at the most, I think. And so they're not like that to get, like, they don't have that type of relationship. I can understand you falling head over heels for someone like right away, but I don't feel like Issa should be this obsessed with him. She's so obsessed to the point that she convinces Molly to make up some fake excuse to show up to, I believe his name's Andrew's house, because she knows that Nathan stays there, to sneak into his room, to try to, I don't know, become a detective and hope that the stuff in Nathan's room will lead her to where Nathan is. Which I don't understand why she didn't ask Andrew, but that's like another thing. And she's in his room, she's going through his stuff, she wants to go through his trash, she's trying to hack into his computer. Like, you would think that Nathan said like, fuck you, bitch, and like, and she was really mad at him, or she you would have thought like Nathan like kissed Molly for her to like go off and become crazy. But like, that's not the case, and I feel like Issa was doing the most, and I didn't really appreciate it. Like, I believe she has fallen head over heels for Nathan, and that's the reason why she's acting so obsessed, because in a normal situation you would not be doing this. And I think that if she doesn't let him go, like, he's going to affect her life in a negative way. He's already affecting her sleep, where she's not sleeping, and then like the first thing she thinks about when she wakes up is Nathan. And like, maybe Nathan has like a good excuse for not coming through, but until we hear that excuse, like, Nathan is done. Nathan is canceled. Like, goodbye forever. Like, I don't know what to tell her. Like, half the episode I was just like shaking my head, just being like, Issa, stop. Like, you're coming off as like super desperate, and I don't know, we'll just have to see what happens with her story. Next I want to talk about Molly. So there's 2 different like stories that are happening with Molly, one with her personal life and one with her work life. So with her work life, Darian or Tyrion, I still can't remember his name, but who cares. They've been collaborating on projects together. He's being very alpha male, and like, you're beta, you do as you're told type of thing, when Molly is like his equal. And I don't appreciate the way that Molly's being treated, but like this is Molly's new job. You don't want to come off as like, oh, she's a girl that's like bitching about blah blah blah. And like they know how he stays, but they were preparing for this presentation, and he gets called in for some kind of court appearance thing that he has to do. So Molly thinks like, okay, well, we already talked about what we need to do, I can present it. And he's like, go. Basically he was just like, wait for me. And we don't know how long he's gonna take. And not her colleague, but her boss was like, oh, so have you heard from him yet? And she was like, no. So then he was like, okay, like let me know like when he's in. And then Molly took it upon herself to be like what if I do the presentation, like instead of waiting on somebody. And in a team collaboration type of thing, you would be like, oh, go for it, yeah, thanks so much, like, oh, you're a lifesaver. But he took it the wrong way, and she not only did the presentation, it was a really good presentation. And I don't know, because the spotlight is not on him anymore, he's giving her the cold shoulder for no reason. And it's because like, oh, I couldn't be there to once, I don't know, it's not called one step you, but I couldn't be there to show off and to kind of have all the spotlight on me. So like boo-hoo crying basically about it. And I'm just like, Molly, like, leave him alone. Go and align yourself with the women in the company and just leave this one dude alone. Because if he's not number one, if he's not the star, then he doesn't want to hear anything from anybody. And I hope this shows Molly that like this guy, I want to say his name is Dorian or Tyrion, whatever. He was a carbon copy of Molly and what she used to be at her work. Mind you, Molly had to work hard to get the same opportunities, but Molly wasn't good at sharing the spotlight and collaborating with people. So I hope she has a taste of her own medicine, and she kind of collaborates more and works as a team in her job. Because then I think she'll be more happier. And then the other side of Molly's story is her and her dating life. So she goes out with Andrew, which I'm like happy about because she's giving him a chance. He's very like Rico Suave, really suave guy. He's cute too, so he's good on the eyes. And Molly is like having a great time. I feel like she still has her guard up, but she's having a pretty good time. And they meet up on Saturday, and she tells him like, well, I have to go back to work. So at first he didn't believe her, and he was just like, oh yeah, so you work on Saturday, like, is that your excuse and stuff? And she was just like, but can we meet tomorrow? And then I was like, oh, thank God Molly's giving him a chance. He could be a really good guy. So they meet the next day, and then they're talking about the Coachella experience and all the stuff they were saying to each other. It was cute banter back and forth, and then Andrew brings up like, because Andrew told Molly when he was like drunk and high that he had kissed his friend's girlfriend. And then Molly told him when she was drinking high that she was sleeping with her friend, which is a married man, which is Dro. So he brings it up as like a joke, and then she totally shuts down. She's just like, oh, that's not funny. And I'm like, Molly, it's true. And I guess she doesn't want to look at herself in the mirror, and she's not feeling guilt, but she's feeling embarrassed of the decision she made, because literally she made a decision I don't know if she thought Joe was going to be with her. Joe technically left her when she was married, so he was never hers to begin with. And now he's starting a family with Candace. And Molly really liked Joe and had strong feelings for him, so she's in her feelings. And hearing someone bring it up is just like a trigger for her. And she's very cold. She becomes rude, and she leaves him. And I was just like, oh my god, we're back at square one with Molly. She doesn't learn. She's just very stuck in her ways. It was a joke. It wasn't anything, like, he didn't say it with malice, and it's whatever. Molly needs to, like, work on herself. I hope she's still taking those therapy classes, because that's all I have to say about her. So next we have Lauren. So, with all the crap that's been going on with Lauren's life, and when I say crap, I mean sleeping around and not settling down, he decides to find Jesus, which a lot of people at some point in their life is just like, hey, you know what, I gotta stop this mess, I'm gonna find Jesus. Or, like, not necessarily find Jesus, but like find his religion. And he invites his friend Chad, or Chad invites himself, or whatever happened, to church, and there's a sermon going on, and you can tell it's not really speaking to Lawrence. I forgot everything the pastor said, but the pastor tried to be relatable, but Lawrence wasn't really feeling it. On the other hand, Chad, I guess he was saved, and he was, praise the Lord, he was feeling it, and you could tell, like, when Lawrence left, he was kind of just like, that's kind of not my thing. Which I do agree that he should find another church if he doesn't really agree with that church. So then he meets this girl from church, and he starts talking with her and stuff. And there's really not much to talk about, because I don't think anything's going to go, or anything's going to advance in that side of his life. So I want to also talk to the part where Lawrence and Issa meet up as friends, and Lawrence recommended that Issa went to an entrepreneurship workshop, and she does that, and she had a great time. She meets up with Lawrence, and they decide to go, I guess, to grab some drinks and stuff. And it was nice of them to talk about the good old times. It was kind of nice for them to kind of get together, but on a positive note. And I'm, like, really happy to see that they're very cordial. So that's all I kind of have for this episode. So that's my recap of Insecure Season 3, Episode 8, Obsessed Like. Next episode is the season finale. I'm hoping it's an hour long, or at least 45 minutes long, because I feel like some storylines need to, some storylines currently have some loose ends that need to get tied up, and I want to know where Nathan is. And I'll be very disappointed if I don't know where Nathan is by the end of next episode. So that's it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
I'm just a dumb cunt, fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could